Right, before you go out and pre-order the new Canon EOS R5 or the R6, I just want to point out some of the things that people aren't talking about and that are definitely worth noting. Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more gear reviews and tutorials. I'm also on Instagram, and if you head over there, you'll see announcements, bloopers, and behind the scenes as well. So head over to the account and I'll see you there. I just want to point out first that I don't own either of these cameras, the R6 or the R5. I just want to share with you some of the specs that I've been looking at and that I would consider before buying. So I'm sorry if you want to see a comparison or you want to see what it looks like, maybe go and check out another video for that. But this video is definitely worth watching still because I do some side-by-side comparisons with what the compression is going to look like in the new camera. And that may alter your decision when it comes to buying one of these new cameras. Now at first I was really tempted with the R6 because it seems like an amazing price, especially compared to the EOS R and the EOS R5 as well. And when you hear specs like IBIS, 120 frames per second at 1080 and full frame 4K along with Canon's autofocus, it's really hard not to press that buy button straight away. However, there is more to look at. So when I was on the Canon website looking at all the specs, I noticed that the R6 doesn't have the all-eye compression. It only has the IPB, so it's capturing less information per second. Now at first I thought maybe Canon had just missed some information off the website, but after watching a couple of videos, that information is actually true. Then I thought that's what the catch probably was, so that felt like a little bit of a letdown, to be honest. It got me thinking. I thought, how much of a difference does it make to the image having this type of compression? Is it so bad that it's not worth it at all? So I've got the Canon EOS R here, and that also does IPB as well as all eye. I thought I'd test the two side by side and see what they're like, and see if it still is worth going for the R6. Got all my notes here. And as you can see by this table, when filming in IPB mode, the R6 is capturing slightly more megabits per second. I wanted to know what the difference looks like between all eye and IPB, because I've heard it's always best to shoot in all eye, that captures more information, but IPB makes it a little bit easier to process for your computer. And the numbers are quite different when you compare all eye to IPB, so you think it's going to be quite a large difference, and that's what I thought initially. However, when looking at the footage, I seriously cannot tell, and when it goes on YouTube, it's probably going to look exactly the same. So when I was looking at the ungraded colours between IPB and all eye, I could not notice any difference. The clarity and the sharpness is exactly the same. Unless I'm totally missing something, I cannot tell the difference. Now, because I'm shooting in 8-bit, you can see the banding of the colours on the backdrop, and that stays the same as well. When you're filming in IPB or all eye, that's exactly the same. But when you film in 4K, that banding gets less noticeable. Now, when you go to 10-bit, I've used a 10-bit external recorder, the Atomos Ninja 5, and that banding completely disappears. That's 4K and 10-bit instead of 8-bit. So there is a big difference there. Now the reason I'm showing you the 10-bit is because the R6 as well as the R5 also films internally at 10-bit. So you don't have to have an external recorder like the Atomos Ninja 5 to be able to record in 10-bit. This video is slightly different to what I thought it was going to be, so because when I started running these tests, I didn't realise how little of a difference all eye and IPB made. So I think really there isn't going to be a question of the image being terrible, because it's pretty much the same. So the EOS R is capturing 420 while the R6 is filming in 422, and you can do 10-bit. So that is going to clean up your image anyway, get rid of that banding, and it's going to make your image a lot smoother as well. Now there are a few other things to note as well before you buy the R6. It hasn't got the little display on top of the camera, it's got a wheel instead, but that's fine. I mean, I don't really look at that display on top of the EOS R anyway, so I wouldn't miss that. Flip out screen is slightly smaller. The screen on the EOS R and the R5 is 3.15 inches, I believe. Yeah, that's right, and 2.1 million dots of resolution, whereas the R6 has a slightly smaller screen at 3 inches and only 1.62 million dots of resolution. So the flip out screen isn't as nice, but you're going to get a better image, and being able to record full frame 4K, better slow-mo, 10-bit 422 colour internally is well worth it. So Sorry, Mum. I might have to click the buy button. So I really thought I'd found a reason not to buy the R6, but having looked at the difference, there's nothing in it. And if anything, filming in IPB is gonna speed up your workflow because it's gonna be easier to process for your computer. It's definitely worth going for. So anybody who, if you don't need 8K, I probably would never or hardly ever film in 8K. My computer certainly wouldn't handle it. So I think it's definitely worth saving that money and going for the R6, 100%. You know, and especially if you're just uploading to YouTube, then you're not gonna notice that compression anyway. Nobody's gonna notice. So yeah, they're my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the little test because it was so interesting doing that test because I honestly thought with those numbers, there was gonna be a huge difference. But there isn't. I really can't tell. Let me know if you can tell in the comments below. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. I might have to go and order one. No, I'll get in trouble. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I think that's it. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good week. See you soon.